Welcome back to another episode of R&R with RTZ with your host, Ariba Azad.
Rahib Tizamon.
And Rahib Tizamon. Today, the T stands for tenacity. On this podcast, we have a special guest, Hollywood stunt actor and YouTuber Omar Zaki. And we're going to talk about how he went from the East Coast to the West Coast, how he got into Hollywood, and how he's making it big on YouTube. Let's get into it.
Rest and relax while we rant and ramble. R&R with RTZ.
Woo!
Told you.
That was like a proper an anime, anime theme song. That was awesome.
Yeah, I commissioned an artist to make me an anime theme song.
No way.
That's it.
I'm
original.
jealous.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Necessary. All right, man. Omar, thank you for being on this podcast, man.
Thank you for having me. This is crazy. The last time we would have seen each other would have been probably when I dropped out of college in 2014.
Yeah.
And
wow.
So that's 9 years ago.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's almost a full decade
Jeez.
since Rahib and I have seen each other physically. We've communicated a little bit back and forth
You
online.
guys talk like you see each other every other weekend, though. You came in here like, hey, guys, what's
It's just
up?
filmmakers.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
what
just-
gear are you using? What's going on, man?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Within 20 minutes, he already asked me what kind of camera I use. Yeah, exactly.
That's an icebreaker for you guys. So what camera do you use?
The Sony A7 III,
Yeah.
if anybody really cares.
All right, Omar, for the people who may not know you, give us a little rundown of your life or who you are.
Okay, so super main landmark moments is I was born in Dubai. Then I moved to the United States when I was 6 years old. Mother was in the U.S., father was in Dubai, so I got to travel internationally all the time as a kid to go see my father in Dubai, and did a lot of traditional sports growing up, did soccer, track, volleyball, swim team. Then I found parkour when I turned 16. That was a big catalyst. Parkour changed my life. It was because I was good at traditional sports growing up. I wasn't going to be an Olympian or anything, but I was a good athlete. Sports was always the thing that I was naturally better at than other things. But then I found parkour, and that's when I discovered what felt in my life like true passion, where I did not have to think about doing it. I was just doing it constantly all the time. I was watching YouTube tutorials with my friends. We were going out after school every day to try to learn things. We would go to gyms and try to practice moves. We started making videos of ourselves.
Right.
Then other people started seeing us do parkour and then reaching out, wanting to be a part of what we were doing. And then filmmakers started approaching me, seeing the videos, and they are looking for subjects for their videos because they specialize in, of course, making videos, but they need things to film.
Right.
So I started working with some really, really amazing East Coast filmmakers. This was at George Mason University, where Rahib and I both went. And at least that's where we kind of had a lot of intersection there. And Mason at George Mason University is kind of where a lot of things started to change. This is where I started making YouTube videos, and I started getting a lot of really positive feedback about the things that I was doing. A lot of attention. We'll just call it attention. Just people noticing and remarking on things. I like the phrase, is something remarkable, not in terms of amazing, but is it worth making a remark over? Is it remarkable? And so a lot of people were saying things to me about the things that I was doing, about the videos that I was making, about the things that I was doing on campus, parkour, training and whatnot. And it just makes you feel very unique. And that's something that I've always craved is the ability to know that I am different. I don't think anybody wants to be a cookie cutter of anything. We all want to be able to crave our own identity and the things that make us who we are, the things that make us special, and stand up from those around us.
Definitely, yeah.
And that was that for me. Parkour was that for me. It was so unique. It was so different. And just the way that people talked to me about it ultimately changed my life. And in making all of these videos on the East Coast with these East Coast filmmakers, I ended up becoming a parkour instructor at a couple of gyms. And then a lot of these YouTube videos were going semi-viral, 50,000 views, 100,000 views, which is to me, that was the craziest thing in the world. That had nobody, 50,000 people of anything had never looked at anything I'd ever done. And that was pretty crazy. And all of that was just happening from me putting 50% of my effort into what I was doing, and the other 50% was going into school,
Right.
George Mason University. I was a music major, and then I transitioned into a kinesiology major, sports science and stuff,
Mhm.
and changed
cool.
my music to a minor. And all of the amazing things that were happening through the videos that I was doing, again, I was seeing that it was only happening with 50% of my application. And I just started thinking what would happen if I dedicated 100% of myself to this, because I had gotten sponsored at this time. I had a bunch of videos going viral. I had a very early YouTube channel, but again, just the things that were happening were encouraging. They were very encouraging.
That's so cool.
And after my second year at George Mason University, I decided to take a gap year. I talked it through with my family, and thank God I have a family that believed in me and supported me,
It
and
always makes a difference.
and allowed me to take this chance. And I've talked about this before, but that must have been the hardest thing for my mom to do as as my main caretaker, along with my stepfather, to go, yes, son, who is 19 years old or 20 years old, we think you should take a gap year from college to do parkour and make YouTube videos. It's like holy God, I don't know if I would have the strength as a parent to be able to give my child that kind of freedom. But I choose to believe that my mother, based on the life that she had seen me live up until that point, gave her enough reassurance that I would be okay.
Aw.
And she always said the thing, you can always go back to college. College is not going anywhere. And opportunities can be temporary.
We can give a shout out to your mom, man.
Hey, whoa, this is cool.
Shout out to Omar's mom.
All right. She gets a shout out on every podcast that I do. I never intend to talk
It makes
about
sense,
my mom.
though.
But
She's the one that, basically brought you to this point.
Yeah, yes.
She supported you all the way. That's awesome.
much.
Support goes
so
a long
much.
way.
Yeah.
It goes
So
a
much.
huge way. So I took a gap year from Mason, threw everything I could into training, parkour, into competing, into making YouTube videos, into traveling. So I went to a competition in Greece. I went to a competition in Sweden. I competed up in Baltimore. I competed in Las Vegas. And things were just going well.
Right.
Because the signs of success were already there before I dropped out. And then I was able to just double down on everything. And you put double the work in, and then you'll get double the results. And that is what happened. And after the gap year was going really, really well, that's when I set my sights on Hollywood and Los Angeles. And in 2016, I moved to Los Angeles. And just with the kind of work ethic that I had developed up until that point, because I operate under the assumption that I know it's a risky business. I know that most people that move to the entertainment industry don't make it. So I was operating from the biggest fear-based mindset of, if I slip up, if I don't give this everything that I have, if I ever take a day off, I will not make it. That will be the reason why I don't make it. And so I killed myself. I edited hundreds and hundreds of videos. I'm training constantly, was networking here, was going to auditions there, was doing absolutely everything I possibly could, building your own website, optimizing your social media platforms, making countless different reels, which you use to advertise yourself, an acting reel, a stunt reel, a parkour reel, I have 8 different reels. All of that because I just believe that if I did not apply myself fully, that it would not happen. And luckily, that is the kind of mindset that allowed me to get to the place I have now, where I have now worked on a dozen commercials, a dozen TV shows, 10 video games, a couple movies, a bunch of music videos.
That's so cool.
And it's been amazing. So 7 years ago, I moved to Los Angeles, and things started slow, but over the years, with that mindset of, okay, I know what I want, and I believe it's going to take all of me in order to make this happen. 7 years later, I now can feel that I have stepped over a major threshold,
Right.
and I now know that I am established in the Hollywood ecosystem.
That's good.
People know me. People know my name. They know what I can do, and they trust me enough to give me great opportunities. And now that's a great feeling to know that. And that's all it is it's a feeling of, okay, I think I have, again, just stepped over a line. And so now I am a Hollywood stunt actor.
That's so cool.
crazy
That's a
journey,
sick
man.
story.
That was the
Oh my
short.
God.
That was the
That was the
short
short
version.
Yes.
That was the landmark version.
So yeah, that's Omar Zaki. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, so I want to talk more about your specific projects you've done in Hollywood.
Sure.
So the ones that come to mind, because I follow you on your socials and stuff, and I love the stuff you're
He's
doing.
a supporter.
As like the Dave one.
Oh,
the Dave
man.
Stunt
Yeah,
acting,
yes.
man. That's crazy. Tell us about that one.
So Dave Bird, other people may know his other name, Lil Dicky. He is a hugely successful rapper and artist in Los Angeles. First off, the man's a genius.
Yeah.
He is a genius. So I got the opportunity to stunt double Dave on. It began with they were shooting a No, I did season 2 first. That's right. Okay. Dude, the first day that I worked with him is still to this day the most difficult, complicated stunt I've ever done for anything ever in my life. And it was a glass break scene, and going through glass as a stunt performer is, pretty widely considered dangerous.
Right.
A lot of times it goes wrong.
Oh.
Because what they do is it's tempered glass. It's like what you have for a sliding glass door in your backyard. And if you've hit that glass, a person can't break through that. They would bounce off of it because that's how it's built. So what they do in stunts in Hollywood is they rig the corners of this glass with miniature explosives. And so as a person is going to run, if they're supposed to break through the glass, they run towards it. And right before they hit the glass, they have a guy with an explosive detonator that hits a button right before you break through the glass so that it actually breaks when you hit it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're a quarter of a second late, if it doesn't go off, if you're early, you've just run full speed into a glass door that wins that battle every time.
Wait, why don't they use glass like, the breakable glass that they
Sugar
use?
glass is great when it's small and condensed, like bottles, when they're doing bottle breaks, but something like an actual huge pane of glass, it's really fragile. And so if they're moving it into place, if anything happens and that thing breaks, it's going to be complicated for the production to try to fix that.
Okay, that's fair.
So they're going to get something that is sturdy enough. They can get in place. They can have a crew of 70 people working around it and not have to treat it like glass, actual glass.
Right, yeah.
But it was a cool, super cool story. Yeah. But the way that I got that job is in Los Angeles, there are profiles for stunt performers where they can put up all of their details, their height, their weight, their appearance, everything. And then Hollywood stunt coordinators can comb through that site to try to find a stunt performer that matches an actor that they're looking for.
Right.
So I just got a call from, one day from a guy, and he goes, "Hey, Omar, my name is Tom Elliott. I'm a Hollywood stunt coordinator. You match an actor that I'm looking for a stunt double for."
You look like Little Dicky, man.
You look like Little Dicky. And I had to go, "Who's Little Dicky?" Because I didn't know who he was at that time. And I looked him up and I went, "This is the coolest guy ever."
Yeah.
What year was this?
This was 2021, it was either late 2020 or early 2021.
Because season 2 came out this year, right? So
season 3 just came out. Season 3 just came out. Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
All right.
So I did that one day with him, and then working on that one day of season 2, they were shooting a promo for season 2, and they went, "Well, we'll just use the stunt double that we used on the TV show." And then that was 4 days of stunt doubling Lil Dicky on this crazy production where they were blowing up cars. They had a fruit launcher that they were exploding fruit into the air. There were people on fire. They were crashing bicycles into cars. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. We're like, this is for a promo for a TV show about a rapper. This feels like an Avengers set that's happening right now.
I feel like I need to paint the picture of the glass breaking scene, because that's actually a funny scene in
there
context.
Is more, right? There is more
so
context.
much more. Because
I was like, is this relevant? I was like, I'll skip over this part.
No, I want to put this because it's me why it's complicated. One, there's a reason why he's going through glass. All right, in the scene, Dave he just got shot down, or he's about to go on a date. And it didn't work out, so the date failed. So he's at home, and he just starts masturbating. Okay, so he's masturbating. He's
treating himself.
He's treating himself. He's using a toy, right? And he has a VR headset or something.
Dude, I can't believe you remember all of this.
I remember this
is crazy.
I saw your BTS of this. I'm like, all right, now it's in my memory.
Wow.
So he has a VR set, so he can't see anything. And then he imagine he's like sees ants all over his thing because it's like his toy that he's using has sugary stuff or syrup or whatever.
Like that. Something like
He's
that.
like messy, and there's just ants all over him. So obviously he freaks out. He has a VR set still blocking
his pants
his vision.
are down around his ankles.
His pants are down, and he freaks out and he walks through his 3-story building, whatever, into the glass wall.
Yes,
and that's you running through the glass.
Yeah. And it was so complicated because it's a dark scene. So generally it's like already low visibility because it's dark. And then he has the VR headset on, like you said, and they burrowed tiny holes into it. So I could see out of them, but so they would be easy enough for them to paint back over, with visual effects later to cover up the holes, but they didn't want to make them super, super big. So they made very, very small holes. So I've got very like linear vision out of my eye. So I have to like turn my head to see what's around me. So it's dark. I have wearing limited visibility VR glasses. I have my pants down around my ankles. I was wearing like leggings underneath it that look like my skin, but they are leggings because they're like, you're going through glass. We can't have exposed skin on you. And then he wanted me to like be like spinning like these 360s as I go through the glass, and then I have to break through the glass, and then there's more, and there's a little ledge at the end of like a deck, and then I have to trip and like clip my shin on the edge of this deck and then fall over the backside, where they have a stunt catcher for me and a couple of guys, spotting the mat to make sure I don't fall left, I don't fall right, I don't overshoot it, because there are consequences if you miss your target. It wasn't like a huge thing. It was a very, very specific target, and it was complicated. Luckily, it all went off without a hitch. We practiced it, we rehearsed it. It all went super, super great. But like, yeah, that was a complicated scene.
Right.
So great, turned out so well.
That's
and
so cool.
That doing well on that day is what led to me working on the promo. Is what then led to me doing a quarter time like commercial with him where he was making his own like fake Super Bowl commercial. It was called the Quarter Time Show because it was the whole point about it was that he didn't get invited to the halftime show, so he was like, I'll just make my own and call it the Quarter Time Show. And then that led me to working on season 3 with him. So I've probably done 10, 11, 12, 13 days with him now, which has just been super cool.
How is Dave Bird? I
mean, the man's incredibly hardworking. He's nice.
Okay,
yeah. But he's a visionary, and so
dedicated to his craft.
He's dedicated to his craft. But it's not like he and I are hanging out on set because he's not just the actor. He's co-writing everything. He's producing. He's directing. So he is part of every part of the machine.
He's constantly working.
But when he's explaining to me how he wants certain scenes to be, the level of detail that he's looking for and he's able to communicate is just awesome. And again, as another creative and an artist and someone who has, done a lot of the writing and the scripting and the editing, the filmmaking that you do as well, it's like, it's really, really cool to see somebody doing that on the highest level.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So about going off on the most dangerous stunts you have done or been asked to do, have you ever put limits on yourself and said to the coordinator or to the director, like, no, I can't do this, it's too dangerous? Things like that.
No, because if you do a good job advertising yourself and you go, hey, world, these are my skills, then people won't call you for something that they don't believe you can effectively do.
Right.
So that's a testament to the Hollywood stunt coordinators that make these decisions. But they'll call me, they go, hey man, can you drive? Like, are you a stunt driver? And I go, no. Because the worst thing you could do is say yes and ruin your reputation.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Or hurt yourself.
Or hurt other people. Right. There are some people that say yes and then go, oh, I'll just figure it out. No, that's not how this works.
I feel like this is that one job where you can't just BS your way through. You have to actually know what you're doing.
Yes.
Or else you really will hurt yourself.
A lot of people get blacklisted. Because,
blacklisted, that's one thing you can't get work anymore. But hurting yourself or other people is a lot scarier, I think.
It happens.
I need to ask, okay, only because I'm so curious. You worked, like you said, about 11 episodes with?
11 days.
11 days, okay.
Days, right. So,
out of curiosity, how does a very popular TV show with a very popular rapper pay a stunt?
So
man.
So generally, you have union and non-union.
Okay.
doesn't matter what the thing, if it's, so we'll go with union. Union is like all the shows that people see, the movies that they see, they're all union. All the Marvels, all the Disneys, all the stuff, those are unions. They hire union performers. So I had to join the union to be eligible for that work. There are a lot of
you, right? The union's there to protect you, right?
Yes, they're there to protect you. They're there to negotiate for you, on your behalf for wages in terms of conditions. They fight for you on contracts. If there's ever a discrepancy between the production and the performer, the union handles this stuff. There's getting into the union is a little complicated, but you have to once you're eligible to join the union, then you have to pay a fee to make like a one-time down. It was like a down payment of like $3,500, so $3,500 just to join the union. And then, you've got annual fees every year based on how much you work. There's a proportion about you essentially, the more you earn, the more you pay to stay in the union.
Right. Yeah.
But once you're in the union, you're working on union projects. All union projects pay the same. They all have union rates. So a day rate for a stunt performer, if they just hire you for one day at a time, it's, I think, $1,100 right now. Mm-hmm. And that's just for 8 hours. That's just to show up, to show up. And that's great. That's an amazing day rate.
Right.
Of course, no one would ever say no to that. And then on top of that, if you go overtime, so if you go over 8 hours, then you get time and a half on top of that. If you're doing big stunts, like going through glass or doing car hits or fire burns, there are things called stunt adjustments on set where they give you a proportionate amount based on the danger of the stunt. Okay. So like the glass break I did, I'm like, am I breaking any NDAs by saying this? So I'm like, okay, no, I think. So I won't give specifics about my, just because I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for certain productions, but stunt adjustments can range from $200 to $5,000, depending on the complexity of the stunt. Right. And so the most dangerous stunts where people like crazy car stuff, fire, helicopters, crazy stuff.
Holy shit.
That stuff can pay, $5,000 to do the thing.
Right.
But obviously there is a reason that stuff is there. Yeah. There's no workers' compensation. We don't get insurance through any production companies because we all get hired as contractors.
Right.
We're not employees of anything. Yeah. So if anything happens, it's all on the performer. Right. So that's another reason why these things have to pay this above average rate is because we're all paying for our own health insurance.
That makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, so there's the rate that you get paid to do the job. Then there's overtime, and then there's stunt adjustments depending on what you do, and then there's residuals based on how successful the thing is that you work on. And if it's something that never sees the light of day or never gets any viewership, then you don't get residuals. If it's something really, really popular, you can get residuals that can, just trickle in over the next 3 to 5 years, depending on how successful the project is. And, it can be that residuals can range from anywhere from, again, a couple $100s to a couple $1,000s for a project. And you will always get the biggest residuals at the beginning of the runtime. And then it will progressively trickle out until it disappears when the thing is no longer successful. Now, whether residuals used to be way more than they are now. This is why the strike in Hollywood just happened because there's this whole fight over streaming because all these big streaming companies are hitting the same numbers that these things used to hit on normal TV, distribution platforms, and yet have just pay one-time buyout fees. We're we're going to use your material for a year. Thanks. Yeah. And then are not paying proportionate, returns to the people that actually make the things that then allow these people to have successful streaming platforms.
That's a good
so
point,
that's a big reason why the strike just happened. But it's stunts and
they got halfway.
There's progress.
Oh, okay.
There's progress. So so there's day rates, stunt adjustments, overtime, and and then residuals.
And really interesting how that works.
It's fascinating, and you have to learn a lot about.
I was gonna say you must have had to learn all of this stuff.
Yes.
When you first went to Hollywood or Los Angeles, I'm sure you didn't walk in knowing any of this.
None of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It gives me a headache too.
It's a lot. So I'm sure you're part. Are you part of an agency or do you have an agent?
So I have a commercial and a print agent.
Okay.
But everything else is most stunt performers we are our own quote unquote agent.
Okay.
So we have the conversations with the people. Excuse me. And we're signing the contracts. We're reviewing the contracts. Usually if there's something weird, usually someone that's been in it longer than you, so you can just run it by them, and they can go, yes, this is fine, or no, that's weird. You should do this.
Is there a certain age you have to be when you like start stunting, or have you seen
you have to be 18.
Oh, okay, so you've
you
never
didn't
seen,
used to be, and then I think
Oh.
something bad happened with some young
I'm sure.
stunt. Like
Right.
no, I mean like bad,
Oh,
like really bad. And then they introduced the minimum 18 years old.
so there's no like, I guess movies and TV shows can't have anything with little kids doing stunts then.
No.
Wow, that's wild.
No.
I mean, that's makes sense.
Yeah, they call it in the industry. They call it like 18 to play younger. So they go, we need a stunt performer that is at least 18 that can play
Looks
younger.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So like
Whether they're a small
18-year-old.
person or they just have a really young looking face
Yes,
or
yeah,
no
yeah.
facial hair or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah,
that
18
makes
to
sense.
play younger.
Okay.
So you've done your IMDb is long.
Let's go.
He has pause. He has an IMDb page. None of us in this room have that. That's wild.
you make it yourself. It's not like
That's
like
still pretty cool.
I
I,
mean,
would
you
have
could
nothing
you
to put
could
on.
have
What
one
would I put on?
if you just made one. It's
Arriba
not like someone made
Azadzaman,
it for me.
Yeah, 'cause you put your
MKR.
some of your YouTube stuff on it too, right?
I
credits?
did. Now, whether I did that in the beginning because when I first made
That's
it, I didn't
wild.
have any
Right,
credit.
right,
So I was
right.
like, how do I look like I've done stuff? So I put on my own projects. But
Yeah.
now that I've actually done professional work, it's not like I'm adding my YouTube videos on there.
Right, yeah. But we went through a lot of stuff. You were in Ahsoka. You were
Yes,
a stormtrooper.
I was
on there.
I was a stormtrooper in Ahsoka
you
in
did-
the final episode.
Yeah. And
That's
then what else
cool.
did you? You did some mocap for video games. You did Mortal Kombat 1.
I did.
What-
I did one day on Mortal Kombat 1, which was super fun, super cool.
It's a video game?
It's a
how do
video
you,
game.
How do you do stunt for that? Like, do they record you in some suit?
Yes. So we get the,
That's
a
so
lot of people
cool.
call them like the pajamas with the balls on them,
Yeah.
where
Yes,
you're wearing the
yeah.
reflective balls that the cameras can read your data and convert your movement
so
data into their computer, and
cool.
then they can use it to make their video game
Yeah.
characters and whatnot. Motion capture is a whole other beast, but it's been really cool how me getting into motion capture for video games has kind of really seamlessly happened because I went from my path with mocap, I don't think has been what's the word? Normal.
Okay.
I went from not having worked on any games to very quickly working on a lot of different games,
Wow.
which has just says a lot about the people who trusted me enough to recommend me for things to other people who were submitting me to jobs just because they believed I was a good person. So much of that is because of other people, but like that is Hollywood. It is a network based
Yeah.
industry.
But it's so cool to like have
Yeah.
that feeling like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good at this and
yeah,
I'm a good person too, and
Yeah.
people are hiring me.
yeah. So it's crazy to think that I went from not working on any games and then to the past 3 years having worked on 10 different games, I think is
Wow.
what it is now. And I'm currently working on 2 recurring games where I am like on set for these games like at least a couple times a month, which is
Wow.
that's
really
incredible.
awesome.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely
steady work.
incredible.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've always
Yeah.
wanted to do the Just Dance.
Just
Recording.
Oh wait, no,
I've seen.
that's-
I've,
game.
that's
Yeah.
a song. That's a Gaga song.
Like, the video
yes,
games,
yeah.
yeah.
Do mocap for that.
Yeah.
I've seen
How cool would
behind
that
the scenes
be?
of those. Those are crazy. The
Yeah.
dancers are really good. They have to do it by themselves.
Now, can
Yeah.
you say what games that you're?
The ones that I'm currently working on, I can't talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, the ones that I have, it's funny because video games are the longest process.
Mhm.
So there's some games that I've worked on 2 years ago that haven't even been announced yet. So
Right.
like,
Oh.
I can't actually talk about 8 of the games that I've worked on because they haven't been announced at all. Because video games, it's like a 3 to 10 year
Yeah,
timeline.
it takes a while. To
Where a film is like, okay, like if a person's worked on the film, a year from then it should be out. It should be out
Yeah,
based
yeah.
on this like super rapid timeline that we
Yeah.
all live in now. But yeah, like the games, the main one that I'm most excited about, I think will come out next year towards the end.
Is it a sequel? A much awaited
No,
sequel?
no,
Okay.
no,
Brand new.
no,
Ooh,
brand new.
That's so
brand
exciting.
new. And I'll tell you when we're off camera.
Off camera.
Off camera.
Ooh.
For
Yes.
No, he's not. For any legal reasons, he's not actually gonna tell
Definitely
us
not
anything.
going to
No.
tell them
That was
as soon as we cut
Yeah,
exactly what I'm doing.
I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. So would you play as a specific character or more like someone in the background?
Not one of the like the well-known named characters. I did a little bit of work as a character called Havoc,
Okay.
who fought against Scorpion. I think we were fighting against Scorpion. And so what's really cool about motion capture is within 1 hour you can go from playing one character to they can snap their fingers and now you're a stone soldier, which was another thing that I did. There was like an army of stone soldiers that got brought to life with magic, and they like got to do essentially like a demonstration for a character. And so I got to lay down the movement that these stormtroopers, they essentially did like a martial arts form. Right. And so I got to be the one performing that form. So I did stone soldier work. I did work as Havoc. And then, oh man, I did something else. I forgot what it was. But yeah, like a lot of the people that they get hired, they go like, okay, you are our character for this game. Right. Like, you know, so I know the people that do Scorpion, that did all the stuff for Raiden and all the other characters. Right. And that's cool stuff. And what is so cool about Mortal Kombat and what like the average consumer doesn't know or have any idea about is that the best action like performers in the country work on Mortal Kombat. And I'm not grouping myself into that. Like literally the lifelong martial artists, like literally all of the best female and male martial artists fight performers, because in stunts there's categories. There's like, okay, you're a fight guy, or you're a parkour girl, or you're a driver. And you know, there are some people that kind of carry over and have multiple skill sets. Of course, that's how you become valuable to a production, is when you can do multiple skills. But so in the fight category, of course, there's the people at the top. They are the people that are the best. Almost all of the best fight performers in the country, like literally in Hollywood, work on Mortal Kombat. And like people have no idea. They're like, this is a great game. Like there's some really good action. It's like you have no idea who was working on this game. It's huge. It's absolutely crazy.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So have you met with them and worked with them?
I mean, like they're just my friends.
Oh, I was about to ask you, are your friends like these other stunt people?
Everyone,
That's wild.
Which is weird now, because now I can't really watch any project that is like mass marketed without knowing at least one person that's a part of it.
That's cool.
Which is like, it's cool, but it's also like, it's just interesting.
Does it take the magic away
a little bit?
A bit uncanny.
A little bit, yeah. It's just like a big YouTube video.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What is film but a huge YouTube video at this point?
I guess so.
Or a really long TikTok, right?
Pretty much.
In a way, you can kind of like watch a scene and be like, oh, I know who did that. I can, based on the movement.
I mean, or a lot of times I'll just see their face and I'll go, that's Johnny.
Yeah.
Good
just
for
had
you,
lunch
Johnny.
with him.
Yeah, and then,
That's
I'll
so cool.
see them at, whatever, a birthday party or something, and we'll all talk about the fun things we're doing. I was like, oh, I saw you in the new Black Panther film.
Yeah.
How was that? I was like, oh, dude,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, actually, since you are friends with all of these other stunt people, is I guess, getting a job in a certain movie or a TV show, is it like competitive? Do you compete with some of your friends or the people that you don't know?
Everything's competitive.
Yeah.
Not even just just the world is
And
competitive.
anything, yeah.
You gotta be good to do the work.
Yeah.
But the amount of support that at least nobody that I run to or am friends with, resent anybody if like there are two people up for a thing, which happens all the time. I've had tons of big auditions that haven't gone my way, and it'll go my friend's way. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that's amazing.
That's
like
good,
just the fact that I can be in the running for something like that is so cool. So yeah, it's super competitive, but it's also super community based. And because
good.
Again, it is a network based industry. There's a lot of forums where the people who have the opportunities to give, but maybe don't have the time or the resources to be able to go find the person that best fits the opportunity. They just put like a call out to people in the forum or in the community. They go, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And everyone's like, oh, this person be a good fit. This person, this person, this person, and this
supportive.
person. And so a lot of times that's how you get your jobs. It's just people being like, hey man, I recommended your name to this person. They might call you. And, and then when you recommend other people, you go, hey, I recommended you to this person. They might call you, keep your phone on you. And that's just kind of how it works.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then, the more of a connection and a relationship that you establish with the people that are in the positions of power, and the more valuable you make yourself by having a wide variety of skills and a high level of capability in those skills, then the more likely those people are to call you again, because nobody wants to take a risk on anybody. They go, okay, I've already worked with Omar. Omar did great. Omar has the exact skill set that I need. I'll just call Omar again. Why would I take my valuable time as a stunt coordinator and try to find somebody else who might be able to do the job when I already have this person that I know will do what I need them to do.
Yeah.
Which is why it's hard for people to break in, because you have to be a better excuse than what they've already been doing.
Yeah.
And that's that's why it takes so long for people to get in and why people never get off the ground floor. But once you're in the room, it's way easier for people to call you because they already know you, they already trust you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a similar thing in videography.
Exactly.
Once to wonder about you work with one director and then they get to know you, they get to know your work.
Yeah.
They're going to trust you.
He's worked for like a few recitals, and all the uncles and aunties will be like, oh my God, you're doing so great. I've seen your other work for this other recital, and then keep hiring him for like.
Yeah. You've answered the question, can I trust you?
Yeah.
Once you've answered that question, that's a great place to be in any industry.
Yeah.
Or any like job, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it is for teaching too.
Can I trust you?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I think you know where I'm going with this, but who is the most famous person you've worked with?
I mean, probably Tom Holland.
So cool.
Tom Holland and
The Spider-Man?
I'll show you a photo.
Zendaya's boyfriend?
I met Zendaya too.
God.
I mean, she worked on the film. that's
Was she awesome and beautiful and awesome?
she did her job. She did her job.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got to. I have to clarify this because this is a very specific thing. In filmmaking for films, there's two main phases of filming. There's what they call principal photography, which is where they film most of the movie, and then they edit it and they go, oh crap, we missed a couple things, or this needs to be better, and then they go back and they do what's called reshoots. So in terms of priority and status, principal photography is the main thing. So people that work on principal photography of a film, they are the ones that actually do the majority of the heavy lifting. They do the work. And then reshoots is like, okay, well, we were going to use this person who we used during principal photography, but they're not available because they're probably doing another movie. But we need reshoots, so we'll just get somebody else to fill in for them for a couple of days. Yeah. So Spider-Man No Way Home, they were doing reshoots for the film, and such a crazy experience. So for people that don't know, some of the things that like really catapulted my YouTube channel forwards was I dressed up as Spider-Man and I would do parkour videos and go around doing flips and whatnot. And I've also done stuff dressed up as Power Rangers. And so I've loved Spider-Man my whole life and Power Rangers. And of course, what person who does parkour and flips and is into Spider-Man wouldn't want to A, just work on a Spider-Man movie, and then B, actually be in a Spider-Man suit on a Spider-Man movie. So like, everybody wants that. Right. But just because you want it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And so I'm 5'11". And then, whenever Tom Holland got cast as Spider-Man, whatever that was, you go, oh man, Tom Holland is 5'8". I will never stunt double Tom Holland. And so, you kind of just put that goal, that bucket list, just like, well, I guess that's not going to happen. I'll never be in a Spider-Man suit on set. And then I'm just, walking around my room one day, just like living my life. And then I get a phone call from a stunt coordinator. He goes, hey, Omar, my name is so-and-so. I'm coordinating reshoots for the new Spider-Man No Way Home film. Are you available for this day and time? And he doesn't say what. He doesn't say what I would be doing. He goes, first, are you available? And I go, yes, I'm available. He goes, okay, great. Just to let you know, if this goes through, you would be in a suit. That's all he said, a suit. He didn't say a Spider-Man suit. He just said a suit. But like, there's a million suits in these superhero films. There's the heroes, there's the villains. Maybe he meant like as a soldier, because when you get brought on as a stunt performer on anything, like anything can be a stunt in a movie. Anything that is potentially dangerous can be a stunt. Like a shopping cart that is rolling down a hill and they need a civilian to jump out of the way of a shopping cart, that's a professional stunt performer. Right. Because I cannot legally allow anyone else to do that. And so in my mind, I'm like, cool, it's bottom of the barrel stuff. It's gonna be ND soldier number 39 that gets blown up and falls on the ground. Okay. That's what I'm thinking it's gonna be, because I'm not gonna get my hopes up for anything else. He goes, cool, okay, you're available. I'm gonna go check with some other people. I'm going to go run your profile by them. I'm going to run your name by them. Keep your phone on you. I go, yes, sir. And I'm just like pacing around my room. Like, what the heck? What the heck? What the heck? What is happening? And he calls back in 15 minutes. He goes, I spoke with the higher ups. You're in. You're going to be in a Spider-Man suit.
Oh, wow.
And the first thing I said to him, I go, but Tom Holland is 5'8". I'm 5'11". He goes, you're not doubling Tom Holland. You're doubling Andrew Garfield. And like this, at this point, Andrew Garfield hadn't been announced yet. There was all the speculative rumors that he was going to, and I was like, I knew it. I knew Andrew was going to be in the film.
That's so cool. So you knew before the movie actually came out.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I was on
That is
set.
such a
I was in his suit. I was in the movie.
But like that's like a spoiler you had to hold on to
for
a while.
For 5 months. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 5 months. I mean, they had to hold on to it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Tom Holland's known for not being able to keep secrets.
But again, so just to clarify, so I got brought on only for 2 days on reshoot. So again, in the grand, for me, yes, huge personal landmark.
It's still a big thing, yeah.
But like, I just have to clarify this for people in the industry, because what works against me is people saying, Omar was Andrew Garfield's stunt double in Spider-Man No Way Home. No, I wasn't. I can tell you the names of them. David Elson, William Spencer. I think those are the main two. Like, those are the Spider-Man stunt doubles. They weren't available for these 2 days. But, they worked on it for 9 months. So it's like, those are the doubles. So it works against me if people say Omar was this. It's like, I was a glorified body double that happened to be available and the same size. But like, for me, great. Huge personal landmark.
Yeah.
And so he goes, you're not going to be in Tom Holland's suit. You're going to be stunt doubling Andrew Garfield. And then within a week, I had a fitting, and they fit me in, and it's Andrew's suit. It's not like another suit. Like, it's the suit from the Amazing Spider-Man.
In his sweat.
I got to wear the face mask. I got to do, like, it was.
You breathed his air.
Did it smell funny?
Truly, it was one of the craziest moments of my life, because it feels like I was looking out like a video game lens and could like look down and see the Spider-Man emblem like a first-person video game, and you're like, how did this happen?
Did you cry at all?
When he told me on the phone, he said, you're gonna be in a Spider-Man suit, I literally collapsed to the ground, and I like knees on the ground, forehead on the ground, still, but like holding the phone and still being like, yes, sir, like, yes, okay, I'll see you.
Holding it in.
Okay, fitting on Tuesday. Okay, copy that. See you Tuesday. And then we hang up, and I just like sat there on the ground.
Oh wow.
I didn't cry, but it was
taking it all in.
It was just.
I want to cry for you.
It was
That's
just
so cool.
insane. It was just insane. And so then getting to the point, I've got so many funny stories about this. And so so I get on set. We're going to do the first of the 2 days. And I'm sitting in my trailer, and I'm in the suit, and I'm just waiting for them to call me to set. But of course, these things take a long time. There's a lot of moving pieces. And so I'm just like, I'm working on, but I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be doing. They go, hey, we're definitely going to be doing some dialogue scenes between Doctor Strange and Tom. You're definitely going to be in that scene. There are going to be no stunts there. We might do some stunts with you later, but just hang out in your trailer, and we'll call you when we need you. And so I'm just like, I want to be as prepared as possible. So I'm like working on poses. There was like little mirrors. I was trying to do things. I was doing like mock fight scenes, because anything can happen at any time on set, where there's like, oh, we didn't think we were going to do this. Now we are. This is what's happening. Go now. And so I was trying to be as prepared as possible. And then someone comes in, and she hands me sides. Sides in filmmaking is the script. It's the dialogue that you have to speak. And she goes, oh, sorry. Here are your sides, by the way. And then she walks out, and I go, sides? Like, I'm not supposed to have dialogue. Or if I were, I was supposed to get it last night, and then you could like learn the dialogue. You could work on how you're going to perform it. You could learn the scene and figure out like how you would say it based on the situation that you're in. And so she hands me these sides, and then she walks away, and I'm like, I flipped through these things faster than I've ever flipped through anything in my life. And thank God, Andrew Garfield's character had one line. So it was mainly a conversation between Doctor Strange and Tom Holland. And there was one moment where Andrew Garfield's character interjected. And he had one line. Let me see if I still remember that, because I overthought the crap out of this line. Because like you give any actor one line, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
And the line was, it was, yeah. It was.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Seems like a strange time to take a vacation. I can't believe I remember that. That's crazy. And so I'm like practicing 100 different ways to say this because I'm going to have to deliver this to Benedict Cumberbatch, who is Doctor Strange, Sherlock Holmes, Smaug from The Hobbit, like The Imitation Game.
Yeah.
You know, one of the greatest like actors in the world. I'm like, I have to give
him?
I acted opposite him. I had
He was
to
on
give
stage.
him a line, and then he would look at me, and then he like retorted something. So I'm just like walking circles in my trailer being like, yeah, seems like a strange time to take a vacation, or yeah, seems like a strange time to take a vacation. Right. I'm like way overthinking it. And so we end up shooting this dialogue scene for a day and a half, because that's how long it takes. But I walk in, they finally bring me in from the trailer into the big main room where they're shooting everything. And that's where I just like walk past Zendaya, and I'm like, hi, Zendaya. And carry on, because they were filming a scene.
Wow.
And and then we were filming pretty much everything on a giant raised platform that had a big blue screen behind it. And there's already two guys up on the platform. And it's Tom Holland in his Spider-Man suit, and then Tobey Maguire.
Hey yo.
Who is my Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
My Spider-Man in his Spider-Man suit, and then me in Andrew's suit. And I'm just like,
That's
this-
so surreal.
and so we go through the blocking. They put me up on the platform, and I'm like we're standing in a line. So I'm on the left, Tom Holland is in the middle, and Tobey Maguire is on the right. And we're all like 4 feet from each other. So I just look and like Tom was closer than you are to me now, and he's in his Spider-Man suit, and then Toby's right on the other side of him, and I look down, I see a Spider-Man logo, another Spider-Man logo, another Spider-Man logo, and I go like, what is happening? This is the craziest like thing my eyeballs have ever seen in their life. And Tom just comes over, he's like, oh, have you double Andrew before? And I'm like, no, Tom Holland.
No, Mr. Holland.
No, Mr. Holland, I've not doubled.
No, sir.
I've not doubled Andrew Garfield before, and so
He's
we're
younger
just
than us, right? Tom Holland?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's like
Wow.
26 now
Yeah,
or
yeah,
27.
yeah.
And so, we're just doing this scene, and we just do this dialogue scene for a day and a half. And, they're filming Benedict Cumberbatch, they're filming Tom. They're mostly filming them too, because of
Right.
course they're the main characters. And every now and then they're catching pieces of like me, but they're trying to not shoot me because I'm not Andrew Garfield. And I we must have done the scene 30 times, and every time I have to go, yeah, seems like a strange time to take a vacation. and it was just so funny, because like that's what stunts is sometimes. It's like stunts is sometimes filling in for the actor because they're not there, and a stunt performer is going to be better at acting, hopefully, than a background actor would be, or a stand-in would be.
So do they use your voice in that
No,
case?
that's just for me to inform the performances of the characters around me.
Oh, gotcha.
So no,
gotcha.
so
They'll dub it over.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be weird if they.
Yeah. But it's just like funny, because every time they would cut, like, Tom and Toby would just continue just speaking about stuff, and they were talking about surfing and things like that. And it was like, oh, have you been surfing around here? Where should I go? And then they're just talking about that. And it's just crazy. It was just absolutely crazy. One of the strangest 2 days of my life.
Right.
And now I have a photo of me in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man suit that I will cherish for the rest of my
You got
life.
that framed up in your room
Yeah.
and
No,
everything.
I don't. Not yet. Not
I
yet.
mean, you should.
Maybe.
Wow.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. My
That's
God.
that's just wow. Amazing. So cool. So cool. I feel like people can only dream about that kind of stuff, or like
I
you
never
hear
could
about
have
it
guessed.
from other people.
Never could have guessed.
But wow.
Yeah.
Do you think your career has kind of gone up from that moment?
I mean, everything is it's all incremental. It's not like there's one thing that changes everything. It's just a slow increasing of your status, how people view you, how they trust you, how often they call you. And so like the coordinators that I worked with on Spider-Man have called me for other things. I've worked with them on other things. When I did Star Wars, that's another like status boost, because people go, okay, that's another big name, high profile thing. And then you work on a big commercial and you work on a big video game, and people just start to see you a different way. And the progressive increase of your status and the accumulation of your skills and the constant building of it just continues to lead to bigger and better opportunities.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude. So off of that, I think we got to talk about, I think what I would say your biggest strength or your biggest production is your YouTube career. Like what you said in the beginning, you started off doing parkour videos on YouTube, and that you were putting 50% energy in it, and then you took that gap year and then, like catapulted to everything else, I would say. You've done so many things off YouTube now. I've watched them all. You've done like 48-hour film challenge. You made a short film in like 24 hours or 48?
It was 54 hours.
54 hours.
Yeah.
You made a whole short film with your friends. It's crazy. You've done like anime parodies. We did the Haikyuu volleyball one.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest ones, I think, is the Spider-Man. Like
The video game in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since Spider-Man 2 was coming out, that was a really popular one. And of course, the other the parkour with Power Rangers and Spider-Man. Dude, how do you get into this? Like, what was your process? Because it's been leveling up every time. It's crazy.
It's funny. I use the phrase that I've unintentionally become a filmmaker because I knew I've always had the desire to share things, first off. So that's just a general like entertain and performer mindset is I want to it's like essentially show off, like showing off. That's what entertainment is. It's like, I want to show you the things that I'm good at or tell stories or whatever it is. So like I've always had that desire as a young kid, and it was definitely used to be very immature, very look at me, look at me, look at me. And it now has turned into something that is more, focused and intentional and integrous. Is that a word? Integrous? That feels like a word. Integrity based. And so the desire to, we'll just say entertain was there, but that's the in front of the camera skills. That's whether it's singing, performing, dancing, flipping, acrobatics, fight scenes, that's all in front of the camera. And in wanting to share those things, I realized that I needed to learn things in order to be able to be in charge of that myself. And that's when you get a really crappy camera and you start filming parkour videos of yourself when you were 16, 17, which is where I first started working with a camera. But none of it was to tell stories. We were like, we just want to know what we look like. Like, are we doing it right? It's like, yeah, I did a backflip and I landed on my feet, but what did it like? Did it look stupid? I need visual feedback. And so that's originally where that came from. It was just a means to get a result. And the result is to know whether the thing that I'm doing looks dumb or not. So then I start working with cameras. And then your ideas get bigger. And you go, okay, well, I want to do a little fight scene, a little parkour chase scene. And you go, okay, well, let's just film it. And again, we're not looking up filmmaking tutorials. We're not looking up camera techniques or watching directors talk about how to make films. Like, we're just filming things. We go, okay, like, I want you to jump from this wall to that wall. Okay, film it. Great. And then you cut it together and you go, well, that looks stupid. It's like, oh, well, we flipped 180 and we didn't even realize that we, had a 180-degree flip in the video. And then you learn when things look dumb and when they don't look dumb by going through that process. And then in having this constant desire to share and then always just having to increase the filmmaking ability just to tell like a slightly more complex idea, that process iterated over a decade, 12 years now. I guess I've been making videos for 12 years now. It has allowed me to make increasingly complex ideas because I've just learned one new thing every time. I've learned a new editing trick. I've learned a little bit more about cameras, a little bit more about lighting, a little bit more about composition, a little bit more about music and storytelling and sound design.
Right.
And then again, all of that over 12 years has unintentionally given me these skill sets that I never sought out. I never sought out to become an editor.
Right.
It's just what I needed to do to get the things out of my head and into just something that I could show people. Because I believe that when I moved to Hollywood, I said, okay, I believe I have good skills. I believe I have valuable skills that if people know about, will also find value, and I will get opportunities to work in the entertainment industry. So I just need to show these skills. And then that's why I film things. So we're going out and we're filming things just for our stunt reels. We're filming mini fight scenes, mini weapon demonstrations stuff. We're just getting high quality videos of us doing the thing that we want to showcase, that we believe if we showcase well will lead to opportunities, because people will go, that person's good, and they have proven to me that they can do the thing that I want to hire them and give them an opportunity to do, because Hollywood is a show, not tell industry. You have to show. You can, if you're a gold medal snowboarding Olympian and you can't prove it, no one cares. They're going to hire the guy that's got one, 8-bit video of them doing a backflip on a potato snowboard because they have proof.
They have proof, yeah.
They have proof.
Who's the we? Like you keep saying we film and...
I mean, I film with a lot of friends of mine.
Okay.
As my projects have grown and grown,
Right.
I have great friends that I work with pretty consistently.
Okay.
In my videos, but usually for my videos, I'm the driving force of them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But there's so much back and forth that happens. Sometimes it's mostly my idea. Sometimes there's more of the back and forth of me consulting with my friends. But all in all, we have a really, really great process that allows us to make some really, really fun stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And just the opportunities that have happened because of YouTube videos that I've made have shown me the value of that as its own thing, of being able to bring an idea. I mean, because you do the same thing. You literally have an idea in your mind.
Yeah.
And then you go through the whole process of like, okay, how do I produce this? Where do we film this? What kind of gear do I use? How do I light it? How do I edit it? Where do I get the music? How do I market this? How do I get this out? How do I make it so that my friends feel like they're not wasting their time being a part of my project? And it's just that has taken me from a performer to a filmmaker and to a director now. And again, these are all skills.
Yeah.
Because now you can communicate with people. Now you can lead. Now you can manifest an idea, which again, Hollywood deems as valuable skills. And so the more, in terms of skills, you can go depth, how deep, how good you are at one thing or a couple of things, or you can go with width. Go, how many different things can you use in tandem that all work together? And you can't, there is no one is better than the other, but I've absolutely gone the width range.
Right.
So I have a lot of skills that I am above average at, that you put them together is a very valuable set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why, we could do this 54-hour film festival challenge, is because of the constant editing and the great friends that I've worked with and the synergy that we've created as a team to have the ability to work really, really quickly. It's just, all of that stuff, making YouTube videos and deciding to take matters into my own hands and go, I will not wait for someone else to decide that I'm valuable and then hire me. I will prove constantly how valuable I am by constantly learning, by constantly applying myself, by always going above and beyond the call of duty, that eventually it will become impossible for people to not see me as anything other than valuable. And I will take all of that into my own hands because it is my career, it is my responsibility. And that's the path that I take, and it is what has led me to really, really great places and really great opportunities where I get hired straight from people watching a YouTube video.
Yeah.
They go, because immediately you answer the question in their mind, which is, can I trust this person? Or is this person good to work with? And they go, I can see this person's personality. I can see their professionalism. I can see their creativity. I can see how they work with other people. Yes, you've just answered so many questions in that person's mind as to, can I work well with this person? Is this person a good connection, a good relationship?
Yeah, that's so invaluable, especially in a lot of fields. Just being able to do all that and being, like you said, personable and invaluable. People really, I think it's underestimated how important personality is to when you're working with someone.
Yes.
They could be the most talented person, but if their attitude is bad, you just don't want to work with them. They could be capable of doing so many things physically, but it's just not.
No one wants to be around a sourpuss. That's basically it.
I've in working in Hollywood for 7 years now, I realize and have seen how the person who is, we'll just say the more agreeable person, a better personality, someone who is nice, kind, grateful, thankful, they can be half as talented as somebody else and get twice as many opportunities,
Right.
because they're a good person.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing.
Yeah,
You
you hear about all these actors, like famous Hollywood actors. They're always difficult to work with, like Edward Norton, the Mel Gibson. Like all these stories that they're just terrible on set and stuff.
Dang,
Yeah.
that's tough to hear.
You ever heard the Edward Norton one?
I haven't, no.
Really, the Hulk guy?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I know who he is, but I haven't heard stories about
Really,
him.
he's notoriously hard to work with.
Really?
Like, he
Really?
he tries to take over the director's position, gives them all notes. Oh, maybe I should do it this way, or let's do it this way, or I'm out walking, or like things like that. So he's pretty notorious for that one.
I feel like the whole kindness thing goes along for any
Definitely.
situation. Like even like, this is my first time meeting you for the podcast, and it was like a ball of sunshine just walked into my house.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes.
I don't even know you. You don't
I
have to
love
be like
that.
this, but you are. Yeah. It's like it's a good way to like, one, have people want you back for work, but also make those friendships that you've made with the other stunt actors. I'm sure you've made friends with directors and other people because of the kindness. It makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
So yay.
Yeah, definitely.
Ball of sunshine, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, genuinely,
definitely, yeah.
you like the way you started talking to me. I was like, oh my God, I've known you my whole life. It's great.
That's great. That's great to hear.
it's
Thank
a,
you.
yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
a good personality.
I mean, I feel this. I mean, we feel so comfortable.
Oh, good.
Just
Thank
hanging
you.
out on this couch.
Glad we
It's
could
me,
make
thanks.
that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about some best and I guess worst moments too. What do you have a favorite YouTube project we've done so far?
Oh man. Oh, it's like choosing your children.
No, that's easy.
I think it is the most recent, the Spider-Man video game in real life one
Right.
that I did that came out 5 months ago. I think it's at 700,000 on YouTube,
Hey,
which is
there we go.
awesome.
Woo.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
That is my favorite because that required the most of Omar.
Mm-hmm.
That required the most planning. I was renting locations. I think that was the biggest team I'd ever worked with in terms of my friends coming to help out, which again, just again, the trust that my friends put in me to show up. Because if a person shows up to anything, it's because they believe in the thing, they believe in the person,
Right.
they believe in the idea, and they want to help.
Mhm.
And so I will never take that for granted. That is huge because in a sense, those people are staking their reputations on the project and the person who's in charge of it. They go,
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
believe in your vision, because if a bad project comes out that a person was a part of,
Yeah.
they don't want anybody to see that.
Yeah.
Even if they were great in it, if the project is not good, they don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first off, most amount of the biggest team that I'd ever led, most amount of my friends that I asked for help for, and they all showed up. It was technically complex in terms of how we were filming it, in terms of how we had to rehearse it. I was filming 2 videos simultaneously. So I was filming the actual short film that would be released, and then we were filming a whole behind the scenes segment that was going to go hand in hand, breaking down every aspect of how we brought the short film to life. And it's a decent chunk of change that I put down on that video. So it's a financial investment as well. And it was amazing.
That's good.
Everybody showed up. Everybody knocked it out of the park. That was a great leadership level up for me because, it's the night before the shoot, and my biggest thing is I never want to waste anybody's time or again, make them feel like they shouldn't have said yes
Yeah.
when I ask for help. So that means that I have to be as prepared as possible. I have to go, okay, what's the script? What's our shot list? How long is this scene going to take? When can all my friends' call time be so they don't show up on set and then sit there and do nothing? It happens sometimes, but I at least want to know that I tried my best
Right.
to be as respectful to other people as possible because I'm not paying them a salary or a day rate, not yet at least. And so they're just coming to help out because again, they want to be a part of something and they want to, and they believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They trust you
And-
enough to put their name out there.
And so, in terms of all the preparation that goes out into it, it's stressful. It's
Yeah.
really, really
Oh, yeah.
stressful.
I know.
I know you know. I know
Yeah.
production is stressful.
Yeah.
You got to make sure all the gear is charged. You got to have all the stuff. You got to have food set up. You got to have the location set up. You got to cross your fingers and hope that the weather is going to be cooperative with you. And then you actually got to,
Weather. Oh.
hope that you budgeted time properly and then you can actually get the thing done in the amount of time that you believe you can get it done in. So, we're meeting at 6 a.m. and it's 3 a.m. and I haven't gone to bed yet because I'm still doing all the prep for the thing. And then you show up and everything goes better than you ever could have imagined. And it just turned out to be a great project. And the fact that like people are watching it is again just really supportive and encouraging, because I want people to see the work that my friends did and the work that we did, because we're all so proud of it and we love what we created. So the fact that it is also getting like that external validation is so great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely my favorite YouTube project.
Nice. It was phenomenal work,
And again,
dude.
it got to, I think I've been using the word fully utilized lately. And that's what I crave. I crave to be fully utilized. So like, that's why what I do is so fulfilling to me, is because I get to use my creativity. I get to use my communication skills. I get to perform, and not even in performing, I get to do acting and fight scenes, and I'm doing voiceover, and then I'm doing editing as well. And then I'm communicating on the back end with my friend who's doing the visual effects. And so we're creating these systems of communication in order to get this project over the finish line. So it really pulled everything out of me for that project. It's not just like I show up and then I act, or I show up and I do a fight scene. It's literally everything that I have is everything that I give, and that's what I love about projects like that.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It came out so well.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really good. Yeah, we both love the Spider-Man games, and we played a lot of them. So
I watch and play. I like it too. Don't count me out.
Really well done. The VFX too is really You took time to understand how the game looks, and then implemented that in real life, essentially. So
yeah. Alex, I got to give shout outs to Alex Cromwell. He did all the all of them. I think all of them. on the video, and he killed himself. He did, I think, 200 plus hours.
Wow.
200 plus hours of visual effects. Everything from the Spider-Man webs to the Spidey sense to like impact hits and things, and that was he was in the mud with me going through the grind, and we got it done.
All right. So in contrast to that, is there a YouTube project that you might have think needed more time in the oven, or you could have done better, or essentially the worst one, for lack of a better word?
I guess it's always like, it's not the worst, but like
it's
the beginning.
You wish you could have done it differently.
Definitely mine is probably like my first few videos. Definitely could have done better.
I don't know, man. El Chapo.
We don't talk about that one.
I think if you did a K-pop one for your first video, that would have been great.
K-pop.
There's the K-pop. I was gonna mention it.
I think the worst ones are the ones that never got released.
Oh, there's some that's never been released.
Yeah,
okay.
Ones where it's just like I decided halfway through that I think I went about this the wrong way. I don't see it being beneficial to finish this. And so that's when, because then I've already communicated with people, I've already shot some scenes with certain people, and again, they've given me their time, they've given me their skills, and some of them have just been, sometimes you just then get booked on stuff, and then you're gone for a while, and then you deal with a minor injury, and you go, oh, well, I actually can't continue filming this project. Like, okay, when I'm fully healed, then we'll continue filming. And then that takes a year, and then you go, well, I'm actually way better now than I was a year ago, so should I even, it's like, no, I should just if I'm going to do that idea, I should rework it, and I should just do everything better. So those are the things that I'm wish weren't the case, because again, like, I want to respect people's time and their skills. Those are but the ones that I post, I'm usually pretty proud of the stuff, especially because as I know that I've got more and more eyeballs on me now, and the people that I'm working with, because more than making myself look bad, I never want to make other people look bad.
You're a leader.
I would rather make a video of myself where people are like, Omar looked stupid, that was a bad video, if it's just of me. But if it's of other people, I will do everything in my power to make them look good, because again, I mean, that's just what I care about.
That's good. That's the work of a
You
leader.
have a very selfless mindset, even after 7 years of being in Hollywood.
I mean, I just know that I can't do what I do I can't do it on my own.
There are a lot of people who know that, but still don't care and take advantage of it. You don't take advantage of it. You care about the people around you still. You know
I think
what I
it's
mean?
because I'm so worried in unintentionally changing over years to like where you never, because I don't think anybody sets out to be disrespectful or
course, yeah.
ungrateful
Or selfish.
or a diva, whatever we
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Like maybe just through their experiences, it can happen unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to counteract the potential gradual change of that, I force myself to be as grateful, as thankful, as respectful, as communicative as possible to just really try to make sure that that never happens.
Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have.
You need more of that. in
And
this
good for
world.
you, man. I feel like that's so hard. Like, I don't know anything about Hollywood, obviously, like the industry or anything like that, but just stereotypically in what you hear in the news, like, it's so hard to lose yourself and become not a good person. So
It's a crazy industry. Luckily, the people that I run into are just as good.
that's so
I mean,
good.
I just know so many good people.
Do you
good
think
to
your
know.
upbringing on the East Coast has impacted you to be a better person in the West Coast?
I would just say it's my mom. I mean,
Oh,
she
See, shout out to her.
she raised me right.
Yeah.
She
There
said,
we
say
go.
please and thank you.
And she
Omar, I should-
supported you, you know?
The thing that I think I remember my mother saying to me most as a kid growing up, because again, young Omar, the show off, was like, look at me, look at me, look at me. My mom would say, Omar, the world doesn't revolve around you. And like, that's a good way to be like, hey, you're a part of a system. You're a part of a society. You're a part of an ecosystem. You have a place in it, but you are not it.
Yeah.
You are not
Yep.
the center of the world, Omar. And it's like,
She humbled you,
okay, Mom.
basically.
Yeah, she humbled me.
Which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Because there are parents that'd be like, no, you are the best. You are going to be the best, like Jeanette McCurdy's mom. Ooh. That's a whole, whew. But like, yeah, your mom supported you in the best way she could have and like the right way too, which I feel like is so awesome.
Yeah.
You don't really hear that from our generation, our parents supporting something that's not like go to college, be a doctor, be a lawyer, bioengineer, like things like that.
I
Of
support
my-
you, Rahib.
Thank you. All right. So as we close out the podcast, I have last two questions. One, obviously, what are your future projects? Maybe with YouTube, maybe with parkour, World Series tag. What's in store for Omar 2024?
It's just continue going bigger and better in the entertainment industry. So doing more stunt jobs, continue to work on the video games that I'm working on, maybe get into more stunt acting roles. I almost had a really cool stunt acting role that would have been on a really big show, but again, didn't happen. But the fact that those opportunities are like in my sphere is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is
So
really cool.
just everything is just continuing to push the Hollywood further, the bigger projects and whatnot. And then it's really trying to find my own voice in my own projects and my own expression and through the YouTube channel, because I want to expand that more and turn it into the full, a full creator business
Yeah.
where you've got your videos that appeal to a large group of audience, and then you can build a community around people who have similar interests to you. They like what you like, and you can essentially be a thought leader in that community. And then you can begin to create things of value for other people in the community. Because it's been weird for me because I've just been doing my thing, and I've been watching editing tutorials on and off for 10 years and editing and making videos and communicating and going through iterations of ideas and then learning things like boxing and karate and then
wow.
wire work and parkour and all these things that feel completely disconnected and random, where it's just like been my head in the ground just doing the work. And then you pick your head up and you go, wait a minute, I actually know so much and could teach so much, because something I did here before I moved to Los Angeles was I was a parkour instructor at a gym here. And I love
cool.
teaching. I love teaching. And I've always been a good communicator. And so when I work with people, they generally learn very fast, which again that's what a teacher wants. They want to see their students succeed. At least a good teacher does.
Yeah.
And so I get so much excitement and pride when you can effectively communicate an idea and it helps a person learn something quicker, faster, better, whatever. And the thing that I realize that I'm most passionate about, or one of the things, is mindset. And specifically, there's two main terms. There's fixed mindset and there's growth mindset. Fixed mindset is I have a limited amount of capability. Therefore, I need to find the thing where I have the least amount of resistance, and that's the thing that I do because that's what I'm best at, and nothing can change about that. Fixed mindset. Essentially, I can't change my situation. And then the growth mindset, which is essentially I can learn. And then by encountering failure and resistance, you get better at a thing, and then you do that enough, and eventually you get really, really good at a thing, and then eventually you can do things at a level that you never, ever believed was possible. That is how I have operated my whole life. I have never been the best at anything that I've ever done. The thing that I was most natural at was running, track runner, cross country. That I had to try the least with the most amount of like disproportionate success in that field. I never ran track when I wasn't at track practice, ever. But like had really, really great high school track career is the wrong word. But in just having this mindset of I can figure it out. I can learn. Repetition, consistency, do it. Like you have to figure this out, Omar. That, again, iterated over 10 years is what has led me to things where people, again, to the fact that I can become a part of a 54-hour film festival and literally create a short film in 24 hours, which was like, holy crap, I didn't know that I could do that. And then you realize that you've been doing a thing pretty much every day for 10 years, and you go, oh crap, I think I might be an editor. I think I might be a filmmaker. And all of that has come from the willingness to figure it out. Right. And the willingness to go, I can learn, and this will be better for me when I learn. So I've been recently realizing how passionate I am about just people doing something that they love. And I mean, it's not a novel idea, but like I don't like talking to people that are not interested in the things that they do in their life. And I'm like, man, I really wish that you were passionate about your own life, because I'm passionate about my own life. And I'm like, it's great. And because it's great, I love talking about it. Yeah. Because it's fun. I love that I get to work on video games and make YouTube videos, and we can talk about ideas and things like creativity and filmmaking and learning new skills. That to me is stimulating conversation. And I selfishly want to have stimulating conversation with people that I'm interacting with. And in order for that to happen, they need to be stimulated. They need to be doing something that excites them in some way. I hate getting the answer like, oh, it's been 10 years. I haven't seen you. What are you like? What are you doing? What's going on? What's your life like? And they go,
same old. Same old.
Or, it's like
working, getting it done.
And so I've begun asking, because I like to ask generative questions that make people think. And so the question that I ask people now is I go, what are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to?
Me? My student learning English this year. I'm a teacher and I love it. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's like a passion of mine since I was 7. So yeah,
you know the most common answer that I get?
What?
It's vacation. It's a holiday.
Oh.
It was essentially an escape from your own life. It's an escape from the life that you have built for yourself. And I'm realizing the more that I continue down this path of the do it yourself, of the figure it out, of the just building your own life, the more I'm like, man, like, no, it's not easy, but I would rather do that work every day
and be bored
than lose the life energy,
right?
And then be the person that I hate seeing in other people. No offense, like I understand, like the world is not an easy place. Right. You have to find this incredible combination between security and passion and work-life balance and family, and it's not easy. And I haven't figured it out, but I am so passionate about never ending up in a position where I am the person that goes, oh, same old. Yeah. Or just going to work, and then I come home, and then I watch TV, and we're going to a bar mitzvah this weekend. and that truly terrifies me. Yeah. It really scares me.
It sounds like being content.
Complacent, yeah.
Complacent.
I think your biggest thing is that you don't stop trying. A lot of people stop trying. They reach a point.
Yes.
And I can coast here. I'm good here. I'm gonna stay with this pay grade. I can stay with this family. I can blah blah blah. But a lot of people that are like you, they need to keep going.
Yes.
They don't see an end. What you're saying about fixed and growth mindsets. You keep wanting to grow. You can say, I can learn this. There's no can or cannot. I'll just do it.
So coming back to your question about what I'm doing is I want to begin, like I would love to create or at least begin talking, whether it's on social media, about these things that are important to me, about like ambition and goals and mindset and passion and the willingness to take risk and to change your life, because the biggest risk is no risk at all. And it's like, that's something I just want to do. I'm looking into building online courses this coming year, one online course on like all of the movement skills that I've learned, because all you need to do to like help people is to be able to get them to learn quicker than they would be able to do on their own, which is, again, I'm like, man, like I could have learned so much faster if I had somebody leading me a little bit. Like you could get it done in half the time or a tenth of the time.
Right.
So I'm looking into building an online course. It's going to be, whatever I do, I want it to be good and valuable. So I do have to figure out like how I can continue to do, if it's something that I can realistically do at a high level and create something that I believe in, something that will be valuable to other people, while also doing the other things that make me, that just continue to build the life that I'm building. So one online course on movement, another one, I'm considering making a course on personal branding because again, this is not something that I realize that I've done, but I've now gotten so many messages from people in Los Angeles that go, hey man, like you're killing it on social media. They go, I always know what you're doing. I always know what you're working on. You have so many videos that showcase who you are, what you do, what your skills are. You've got, you have a good balance of photos and videos. You have a website. You have all of these different things. And again, like it's kind of a skill that I believe I've unintentionally built up, because that's what brand is. Brand is when people think of someone or anything, they know who it is and they know what it is. Nike, it's like, okay, Nike, sports, fitness, athlete, fashion. Like that's what the Nike brand is. And I'm realizing that I, again, have the ability to teach people how to make their own website, how to edit their own videos, how to communicate effectively, how to, become comfortable on camera, to put their ideas and put themselves out there. So that's something that I would love to dive into, but it's mainly, like even public speaking, I just love communicating ideas and talking about things that are important to me, because I remember the people who were most influential in my young life as a kid. And it's people that like came to my school when I was a kid and told an amazing story about their life. And I, to this day, can remember them like deep details about the stories that they told about their own life. And that stuff, I think, is part of those things combined together, just open my eyes to the potential of life and go, this is what it can be. And I want that. I want that for myself. And then when you achieve something, when you get somewhere, then you can lead other people there. You can't lead people to somewhere that you've not yet been.
Right.
And so I want to go far so that I can then help other people go somewhere.
Again, with the selflessness. It's so cool. I love it.
That was beautifully said, man. I was going to ask like, what kind of advice you would give people, but I feel like you've been, this whole podcast, golden nuggets of information.
Screen cap it.
Yeah.
And
I have a whole folder on my phone of like little things that people have said that I'm like, I love that. And I'll just screen record it and I put it in a little album on my phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're still so humble about it too. You're not like, I mean, you freaking worked.
I was Spider-Man. What do you mean? No one talked to me.
I think, part of it is because I can see how much of it is out of my control. Mm-hmm. And like, I happen to be the same size as Andrew Garfield. I didn't do that on purpose. Yeah, that was completely out of my control. I happened to fit exactly in that suit. It was like, okay, like that's not a skill thing. That's just, those are the moments of luck. But
there are people who, like, if they get an opportunity, anything close to that, they, boast about it like, oh yeah, I got to work with 2 Spider-Man or anything. Like, it's not like you're going around doing that, which is, I don't know. It's nice. It's humbling.
Thank you. I want to keep that forever. And it's easy for me to do because I work with people who are way better than me, way more accomplished than me, have been doing it longer than me. So like, who am I to pretend like like when you work with giants, it's very clear that you're not a giant, right? And I'm not a giant,
right?
And let's hope that as I continue to work up and become bigger and more successful, that like I will it is always front of my mind. Like I want to always maintain that, again, the respectfulness, the gratitude, the humility, because that is so important to me.
And that's how you
just so
grow
important. Yeah.
instead of being a fixed mindset, like you said.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're definitely more of a creator than, because I think when we think of people that are like boasting,
They're influencers.
they're in for it for like something else.
Yeah.
You're actually a creator. Like you go at it because you have a passion for the art.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot different of a mindset.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's good.
All right, man. That was
really
great
intense, but I
podcast.
loved it. Oh
I'd
my
love
God.
to talk more, but I want to keep you away from.
What a great podcast. Thank you for having me. This is so
Of
cool.
course.
I'm so glad that you
Yeah.
invited me here.
Glad you were on this, man. Really great stuff. And
Yeah.
we can't wait to see what else Omar Zaki has to bring.
Oh my God,
man.
yeah. I'm
gonna
gonna be
be
like, I met
crazy.
that guy.
I'm
that's
excited
behind
to
the
get back to
mask.
LA. I'm excited
Yeah.
to just nose to the grindstone, keep it going.
Of course. Don't worry, guys. There'll be an RTZ Omar Zaki collab in the future.
Yeah,
as well.
dude, let's do it. I'll do a
And if
30
we're
days of
ever-
Bhangra challenge or
There we
something.
go, there
Bollywood
we
dancing.
go. There we go. We'll make our own Natu thing.
Yeah, but that'd
Oh
be
my
really cool. That'd
God.
be fun.
And if
All
we're
right.
ever in the area, I would love to like meet up with you
Yeah, you
and
can
just
show us the LA
Yes.
spots.
show us the LA spots, the food. I'm
Deal.
a foodie, so
Deal.
All right. So
Yeah.
for the last thing, you can tell the viewers and listeners where to find you on socials and everything.
yeah, roll out the red carpet. As Sean Evans would say.
Two main platforms. YouTube, it's just my name, Omar Zaki, OmarZaki. And then Instagram, if you're an Instagram user, it's Omar Zaki 0 because Omar Zaki was taken.
It always is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but no, if you come here from this or go to YouTube or Instagram, like shoot me a message, let me know. I will see it. I look at every comment. I look at every Instagram message. So don't think that you're
Love that,
invisible.
wow.
I see you. I want to talk with you. Let me know.
All right. And on that note, thank you guys for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, Rahib here. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button to get a notification whenever there's a new video. If you want to support the channel, check out the merch shop as well as the Buy Me a Coffee page and the Patreon page to get monthly benefits such as exclusive BTS content, unedited podcasts, and early access to all the videos. All the funds help grow the channel and keep it afloat, so any and all help is appreciated. All the links are in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.